Hello everyone, we're going to make fluffy beads from plastic straws. First you need plastic straws. I took some from our makerspace, but you can also have used ones and save them and wash them and use them and upcycle them, since plastic straws are very difficult and almost impossible to recycle. And I'm marking them about an inch and cutting them. And you can certainly use these plastic straws beads here can be used as beads just as is. But what we're going to do is we're going to take cheesecloth. Cheesecloth is a wonderfully open weave kind of cotton that we will be using to wrap those beads in. And one of the great things about this is that the cheesecloth can fringe as well, so you can have fluffier beads with cheesecloth. This I'm putting the super glue onto the plastic, and I'm just dabbing just the tiniest little bits of glue onto the plastic straw, and that's just adhering the cheesecloth just a wee bit. You can see that it's not much at all. You don't need much super glue or fabri-tac. You can use bridal adhesive. Any strong adhesive will do this, but you don't need much. Something that you can use and then wrap the cheesecloth around the bead. You can do thicker ones, have very, very thick ones or thin ones. I just did a couple wraps for mine. And then at the end, just another little dab of glue, just so that the cheesecloth adheres to itself. And then you have like a little bead that has fabric on it that you can then sew. And these are mine that I've gotten prepared. I have, they're on bigger pieces of cheesecloth, so I'm going to have to trim the cheesecloth a little bit. I've already glued the plastic straws to the cheesecloth in the first round, and then I need to wrap them. Now this is a plastic accordion piece from the plastic straws, and you can see how it telescopes and can bend. So I want to keep that kind of bendable straw bit, and I'm going to get just, again, the super glue dabs just a wee bit, and put those dabs of glue also on the ribs of that telescoping sort of accordion plastic. And then I'll wrap it with the cheesecloth. And when I do that, I'm very careful to keep the cheesecloth flat and even when I roll it, so it doesn't have any bumps or anything, because you want it to be a cylinder of sorts. Again, just putting a little bit of glue on there so the cheesecloth can adhere to itself. These are the beads I've made. They're very thin cheesecloth. And this one is a bendable one with fringy cheesecloth. And that's to add to the fluffiness of it. And you can see it bends very nicely if I wanted it to. This is the kind of yarn that I'm going to be using. It's very pretty and colorful and has these little threads hanging off of it that are kind of fluffy. And so what I'm going to do is just wrap it around the bendable part of the straw, and because of the cheesecloth being there, we can sew it. And the thing about it is that when you're sewing, it's easier than glue in some ways, because it is not going to give you this hard edge. So, but you can see I made a mistake and grabbed in some of those green colored threads, and I want those to stick out. So I'm careful about sewing these, so I want to keep it fluffy. You can use any kind of yarn for this. You don't need this fancy yarn. You can just use normal yarn or a fluffy piece of fabric. And if it's thin enough, you don't need the cheesecloth. It's up to you what you want to do with these. The basic thing is that it gets sewn rather than glued, and you have a soft piece of that you can use and sew onto and put onto a necklace like I have here. Here's me bending this bead so it looks kind of like a smile. That's a fluffy bead from Plastic Straws at East Hartford Public Library. Come visit us.